Welcome back to Open Line. Talking politics, we have with us the chair of the Tennessee Democratic Party, Mary Mancini, is here. The Republican Party will be on soon, we promise. And let's go to the phones. Let's go to David. Hello, David.
Howdy.
Hi, go right ahead.
I know how Tennessee went from blue to red.
All right, how?
About 1978 or so, America started losing all of our manufacturing jobs. First it was shirts, then shoes, then furniture, then just about everything made in America. And they started going to Mexico, China, other third world nations, and the two-party hypocrisy has allowed Wall Street and the banks to run amok. And it's bad enough that we lost our manufacturing jobs, but Reagan and the Clintons have offered amnesty to those illegals. So they put those aliens on top of unemployed Americans, and many of us have a long memory, and we hold a grudge.
So how would you, if you want to say, how would you vote?
If you recall, about a month or so ago, I called in. I'm 58. I've never registered to vote, and you'll see the sun a ball of ice before I do.
So you're not going to vote?
I'm not going to vote. I got no one to vote for. I mean, the Clintons are members of the bar, and nobody's willing to reform the criminal injustice system in America. They're not willing to strip immunity of criminal court officers, and they're not willing to change the status quo. In fact, in our state, they do everything in their power to do the opposite, to keep people from finding out the truth about our government. And if you want to find out the truth about America, get yourself a satellite dish and watch NHK or BBC.
All right. Well, let's talk about some of the things you said. Now, David, I appreciate your call. Thank you very much. So what do you think of what he's saying? He's saying manufacturing jobs have left. There's enormous frustration out there. He's not going to vote.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what's sticking in my head is the he's not going to vote thing, and that really is, I think, a travesty because we have such a low voting population in this country, and I get it, right? I mean, that part of the problem, and I agree with him in terms of the manufacturing but I'd take it even one step further. That's gone from this country. I'll take it even one step further. The wages in this country have not kept pace with inflation, and so what we see now, ever since the 70s, I think, are people, and I've seen it with my own parents, right, in the 70s, where came from a family where my dad worked, my mom stayed home, took care of the kids, then my mom had to get a part-time job to make ends meet. Then my mom had to get a full-time job to make ends meet. And then I graduated high school in 1981 and went to college, and it seems to have gotten worse. Now parents with school-age children have to work 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet. That's the real problem with the way our corporations and the way jobs are structured, that we're not paying people enough, that we're no longer providing access to affordable health care for them so that their families are healthy. We're not paying them enough so that they can work 40 hours, take care of their kids, spend time with their kids, have a real family unit. Everybody's pulled in a million different directions. And that's why some people don't vote, right? Because
they think neither party will change it for them. Number one, they're incredibly busy. And number two, they think it won't matter. Well,
you know what? Then maybe their politicians are counting on it, right? They're counting on them not to vote, right? So vote, register to vote, have a say, find a candidate that you like. You know, of course I would love for it to be a Democratic candidate. I think that we're the party, and look, we have our flaws, but we're the party that really has worked continuously for progress and for making people's lives better. You know, at the state level, we're working for Insure Tennessee, and I know I brought it up, but it's such an important issue because we've got 26 Democratic House members out of 100, and we've got 5 senators out of 33, and each one of them are working to pass Insure Tennessee so that 300,000 hardworking Tennesseans, these are people with jobs that don't have access to affordable health care. And they're working 2 and 3 jobs and they don't have access to affordable health care. We've let corporations and businesses cut people's hours so that they're no longer working full time, right? They're working just below full time so they don't have to provide them with benefits and health care and things that will make their lives easier, And so when people are trying to piece together a living like that, it's a very, very difficult existence, and it's enough, really.
The other thing you brought up, and then I'll go to more calls,
Yeah.
is the trade issue and these trade agreements. And Donald Trump has been very critical of that, and Bill Clinton and NAFTA, that was a signature thing under Bill Clinton. Are you concerned? Does that have play here in Tennessee, in the Rust Belt states? Where do you think that issue will find itself in this campaign?
It absolutely should concern people. It is an absolute travesty that unemployment is so high in rural counties of Tennessee, right? And so what is our legislature doing to fix that, right? Yes, absolutely should be in play, but I think we have to remember, I was going to say, remember who the real enemy is. I was in my Hunger Games, but remember, what who your anger should be focused on, right? So, economic development in this state is incredibly important. Yet, we have a governor who has made it, a Republican governor who has made it so that the public can't see what economic incentives are being presented to bring businesses into the state. So we have no idea whether the economic incentives actually match the number of jobs that are being brought, right? And what those good jobs, not just any jobs, but are those good paying jobs with access to affordable health care and other benefits. So, we need more transparency just in the state government when it comes to that. So there's a lot of generalities, and I think he brought up sort of the generalities of the problems, but there's a lot more specifics that we probably should all be aware of. And the only way to change things is to vote and hold your elected officials accountable.
All right, let's go to Brian. Hello, Brian.
Hey, that's me, Brian.
Brian, go right ahead.
Hey, listen, the Tennessee Democratic Party, is that like a dinosaur? I thought it was extinct.
Well, no.
I know they're concentrated in the big cities like Memphis and Nashville. Really not even Nashville so much. Because, who is Mrs. Marsha Blackburn or something? A congressional person? I don't know how they redrew Bill Meade stuff, but I don't know. I think that we should all just get along and elect the best person possible. And then, move on with a great economy. That's all I got to say. I mean, come on.
Brian,
let's
thank
all
you.
make money together.
All right, thank you, Brian. Let's go to Jim. Hello, Jim. Jim, are you there? Jim? We'll come back to Jim.
Okay.
All right, so there's Brian. He says we should all get along. That's great.
Yes. Well, he said a lot of other stuff before that, but
Yes.
we'll just fast forward to the why don't we all get along? I like that.
Yes. All right, so what
He needs to get out more, that's all I'm saying. There's plenty of Democrats in every part of this state.
Okay, we think Jim is back. All right, Jim, are you there? Jim? Jim, go right ahead.
Yeah, she made a misstep back earlier when she was talking. She said the people elect the president. We don't. That stupid electoral college elects the president. We need to get rid of that. The other thing is, I've been a Democrat all my life, but I cannot swallow what they're trying to give us this time. So I doubt very much that I will vote this year.
You may not vote? All right. Okay, so there's a Democrat saying he might not vote.
I don't understand that. I mean, this presumptive nominee of our party, Secretary Clinton, has served this country incredibly well. She's incredibly capable. She has so much experience. She's been Secretary of State. She's been a senator. She's an attorney. She is so incredibly capable that I don't know what's blinding people to that. I just don't understand it.
Let's go to Reverend Enoch Fuzz. Reverend Fuzz, hello.
Hey, man, listen, I want to ask Mary a question. I've been chatting back and forth with a guy on Facebook who says he's not going to vote for Hillary Clinton, even though he's a Democrat. He does not think that she's a good choice, so he's not going to vote. So I want to ask Mary, how does that play out, not voting? Does that help, like, for instance, in the Hillary and Trump race? If people don't vote who would vote for Hillary, how does that help the other candidate, or does it help the other candidate? What would you say to someone who decides not to vote because they don't want to vote for the better of two evils, as they say?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about turnout, right? And the Reverend has a great point. It's all about turnout, and again, it's not. Everybody wants to talk about the presidential race, right? That's like the big, sexy thing that everybody wants to talk about, the presidential race. We have so many down ballot races that are equally as, or I would say maybe even more important here in this state. And again, go back to the fact that Democrats are in a super minority. No state legislature functions well when one party has a super majority. And what that means is that the Democrats could just stay home, right? And the Republicans could basically do whatever they want, and they have been, to the detriment of what's best for the people of this state. So what I would say is to that person is, okay, I get what you're saying, but let's look at what the down ballot, let's look at who else you have to vote for. Let's look at who's running at the state legislature in your House and Senate district. Let's look at who's running for your county commission or your city commission races or your property assessor. You know, those are important races as well. So I think it's it does this country a tremendous disservice when people say they're not going to vote. Because I also think that you vote for the person. If you don't love them completely, you vote for the person that more closely aligns with what your values are. If your values are, opportunity for all, smart and effective government, strong families and communities, then you vote for the Democrat, right? And Hillary Clinton represents all of those things, and she represents progress in bringing those things forward. She's not perfect. No presidential candidate is ever perfect. But in this case, I would say you vote with the person that most closely aligns with your values and the direction you want to see the country go in.
All right, we have to take a break. If you're online, hold on. If you want to call in, there's the number 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. We'll take a break. Be back right after this.